Today, we're talking about something pretty much all of us carry every single day, our Android phone. It's how we connect with everyone and everything, but it also gathers a lot of information about us. So our goal here is really simple, to help you understand what's happening in the background so you can feel a bit more in control of your own digital life. So you gotta wonder, right? What does your phone actually know about you? We're going to explore what our Android phones are up to, even when we're not looking. And just to be clear, the point of this isn't to scare you. It's to give you good, clear information that empowers you to take charge. All right, let's get into it. Underneath all those cool apps and the convenience we love, there's a pretty sophisticated system at work collecting data. It's kind of like this invisible process, constantly gathering information in the background, even when your phone is just sitting right there in your pocket. So, how does it actually do that? Well, it happens in a few key ways. For starters, your phone tracks your location. A lot of the time, even if your GPS is off. It also sends reports about how you use your device back to Google, and it uses a unique ID for advertising. And sometimes apps just ask for way more permissions than they really need. Let's zoom in on one of those for a sec. And this tracking, it can be way more persistent than you might realize. Take your location, for example. So say you turn off your GPS, thinking, okay, I'm private now. But your phone can still get a pretty good idea of where you are just by using nearby Wi-Fi networks and cell towers. It's a perfect example of how this stuff happens in the background, totally quietly. To really get a handle on just how much data we're talking about, there's some interesting research we can look at. A study from back in 2021 really put this data collection into perspective when they compared Android phones to their biggest competitor. And what they found, well, it was pretty eye-opening. Okay, so the big number that came out of this study was this, 20 times. That's a massive difference. But 20 times what exactly? What does that actually mean for you? Okay, so here's the breakdown. That study, which was from Trinity College Dublin, found that an Android phone just sitting there idle sends about 20 times more data to Google than an idle iPhone sends to Apple. And a lot of this is happening automatically, without you even touching the device. Now I know hearing all of that can feel like a lot, but here's the really important part. You are not powerless here. There are clear, simple things you can do to manage your data. You absolutely can take back some control. All right, so let's take what we know and turn it into action. We're going to walk through 5 practical steps you can take to become a more empowered user. And these are things you can literally do on your phone right now. Okay, here are 5 things to try. First step, review your app permissions. Seriously, does that game really need access to your microphone? If not, just turn it off. Second, dive into your Google account settings. You can actually pause things like your location history and web and app activity. Third, you can reset your phone's advertising ID to help limit some of the tracking for ads. Fourth, get familiar with the privacy dashboard. It's a great tool that shows you exactly which apps use sensitive permissions and when. And number 5, you can limit background data for apps that don't need to be online all the time. And this all comes down to a really simple but powerful idea. Whenever an app asks for permission or you're changing a setting, just pause, take a moment, review what it's asking for, and then you control what happens next. You might be wondering, why is all this even happening? Well, it's not random. Your data is basically the fuel for this huge data economy. The things you do, the places you go, it all helps power services and personalized advertising. And that really brings us to the main point of all this. Just understanding what's being tracked, that's the first step. But the second step, the one that really matters, is using that knowledge to actually take control of your settings and your data. Look, what we've talked about today is just one piece of our modern digital lives. And again, the goal isn't to make you afraid of your phone. It's all about being informed and just a little cautious. At the end of the day, awareness is protection. If you stay alert, you stay safe. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay aware, and please consider sharing this information with your family.